Rob Smith here, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Dacre Bradley as he makes a return to Cage Warriors Academy. Dacre, how are we doing, mate?
Yeah, doing great. It's great to be back in fight week. It's been a little while now. Been about 5 months, I think, since my last fight. So yeah, nice to be here again. And yeah, I love fighting on Cage Warriors Academy. It's a great promotion. They've always looked after me. So yeah, buzzing.
So, well, the matchup is a bit of a surprise one, if I'm being completely honest, when I saw it, because you're fighting a familiar opponent. It's a rematch against Julian Torhaug, someone you already beat. And you were meant to fight on Fight Star in London, which is meant to be your home show, and couldn't get a match. And I know how that was quite frustrating for you because if you look at your record, I've literally put it up right here on my screen. Like if you look at it up, you are always the away opponent. You're always traveling. You've been here, there, and everywhere to fight. And the one time it's in
Yeah.
London, no one wants to fight you. So talk us about the frustrations of not being able to get a fight on Fight Start and now having to rematch Julian on Cage Warriors Academy.
Yeah, so after my last fight, I took a couple months just to work on my skills, rebuild and stuff. And then yeah, I wanted to fight on Fight Star, which happened a week ago, I believe. And yeah, so I got turned down by like three guys for that show. And then it was getting close to the show, and I just wanted something booked. So I was like, all right, let's try get on Cage Warriors Academy. I was originally meant to fight someone else, not Julian. Um, and then yeah, that fell through. And then yeah, the Julian fight came about. So yeah, to be honest, like out of the people I've fought, he's probably the guy I'd say was least likely to rematch. To be honest, but yeah, here we are. So yeah, here we go again.
So what was your initial reaction when I'm assuming Cage Warriors Academy came to you and said, "Oh, we've got a fight for you. It's a rematch with Julian." What was your initial reaction? Were you keen to fight Julian again? Because obviously, no disrespect to Julian, but when you first fought him, it was you made quite easy work of him. It was a comfortable performance from yourself. You know, you kind of dominated all three rounds, in my opinion. So was it a fight would it really interest you, or was it just a case of I just want to fight?
To be honest, they just announced that actually. I didn't even know I was fighting him until it got announced. So, but then yeah, I was like, I spoke to Brad. I was like, yeah, let's just do it because I've been struggling to get matched. So yeah, if he's willing to do it, let's do it. I just wanted to get back in there. Didn't want to waste any more time and sit out any longer. So yeah, we're running it again. Um, but look, he's had a fight and won since. Like I'm sure he's improved, but like I'm levels above what I was when I beat him a year ago now. So yeah, I'm just excited to show how much I've improved my skill set. And yeah, we'll run it again.
That's kind of the one thing when I was doing some like I was looking at the records, I was looking at Julian's record. He has only fought once since your fight, and I think how many times you fought since you fought Julian? Have a look. You fought three times.
Now
So
four, I think. Nah,
so
three. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So you got Christian Sam Reese. So if you look at that, it's a strange one because I always stress, in especially in amateur game, activity is the most important thing. You can't allow yourself to have these massive breaks where you're not fighting unless you're injured or it's something you can't avoid. But if you're taking, I think he's had almost a year out before he took. Actually, he only took I think 8 months out between the fight between you and his last fight. It's a long time to be out, and if there's no injuries behind that, guys like yourself who obviously you've gone 1 and 2 in that time, which obviously it does on paper it doesn't look great, but if you look at the actual caliber of opponent, it's high level. It doesn't losses don't mean much in my opinion. I know it's easy for me to say this as someone who doesn't fight, but to me, if you're actually fighting high level people and you're fighting consistently, you push yourself and you're challenging yourself. That's what amateurs about. It's about getting the rounds, and it's not about going 20-0. No one really, it doesn't really matter unless you're Mohamed Makayev or someone crazy like that. It doesn't really matter. It's about pushing yourself, and I think the activity is what might cost Julian here because obviously he's only had one fight since, and he won the fight by a split. So it's going to be an interesting one. And so, what do you make of his inactivity? I guess.
Um, I mean, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Activity is super important as an amateur. I think taking risky fights, fighting the best guys you can, and getting used to those high level, high stakes fights where you got two prospects who think they're going all the way, clashing. You know, that's a completely different feel to when you fight someone who you're supposed to beat on paper. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't really make too much of it. I mean, I'm sure he's improved and stuff. I watched his last fight. To be fair, I think he won it. Like, um, so yeah, I was surprised it was a split. To be fair, and yeah, no, he's a dangerous guy. Like, and look, at the end of the day, he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't want to lose to me again. So, treating it as a completely new fight. To be fair, it's just like the same frame or whatever. But whether it was him or someone else, I'd be doing the same thing, which is coming to get him out there early. So it makes no difference that it's him.
And we kind of joked earlier when we set the interview saying how it felt like we were having interviews every other week because you were so active. You were literally fighting like once a month. It was crazy. And you mentioned previously how you took a bit of time off. I've had about 5 months out the cage. And talk to me, what have you been doing during that time? Because I believe, even though I've just stressed activity, I think for you, a break was needed because you were fighting so often. I know you mentioned before how the past few fights you maybe weren't enjoying the process as much. Can you kind of explain what your mindset was like going to those past few fights?
Yeah, well, I did 6 fights in 9 months, and it was 7 camps because I had a fight fall through as well. Um, so yeah, it was just a lot like on the body and the weight cuts and everything. But I mean, like no excuses. I don't regret anything. I'm glad I got those fights in, got that activity and that experience. But yeah, it was just at a point where it just become the process has become. I started to not hate it, but just not enjoy it like I should be. Um, and yeah, so in that time off, it's very different because when you got a fight coming up, everything you do in the gym, you want it to be doing stuff you're going to do in the fight. It's harder to try new stuff. So like I kind of have not having the pressure of a fight coming up or having an opponent and a style in mind. The last 5 months, I've just been able to focus on myself, working on different parts of my game, and even during this camp because I've been in camp like 10, 11 weeks now because obviously I was supposed to fight on Fight Star because I didn't have an opponent until like 2 weeks ago. I was just focusing on myself throughout the camp as well. So I just feel like my skill set's developed so much from my last fight, um, just through being able to try new stuff and just having the freedom to yeah, just explore new things in training that you can't do when you know you're fighting in a few weeks. Whether it's jumping on that submission or trying something when you're striking, if you don't think you're going to do that in the fight, it's hard to kind of take that risk in training. Whereas when you haven't got that pressure, you can just try new stuff and evolve your game in a different way. So yeah, it's been good.
And one thing that you've missing off your record is you're still yet to get that finish. I know you're someone who you're always looking for the finish, and it's something that hasn't happened yet. And do you think having this time off and really kind of holding your skill, do you think this fight is where you'll get your first amateur finish?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, the first time we fought, pretty much the whole fight was him on the brink of getting finished. Like I was in dominant positions the whole fight. The brief exchanges we had in the stand up, I landed pretty clean. So yeah, I believe I'm going to finish him. And I'm bringing something completely different. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he is. But yeah, I mean, how much I've evolved, I just can't wait to put it on display. But yeah, you can't take too much from the last fight, but obviously it has relevance, like to an extent. But yeah, like I said, it's just a style and a body in front of me that I got to take out, and I think I'm going to do that early.
And so, what are the goals for you now in your amateur career? Because I know we spoke previously saying how if the fights had maybe gone your way, you would look at going pro because this will be your ninth amateur fight. This is kind of sort of the time frame where people start to look at going pro. But obviously, the past two fights haven't gone your way, so I know you might want to maybe put the brakes a little bit. I'm not too sure, but so what is the next step for you? Are you looking to maybe regain the Cage Warriors Academy title, or have like a few more, then look to go pro? What's your sort of plans right now?
Yeah, I mean, getting the title back would be nice. But yeah, like I know I'm near the end of my amateur career. Like I've underperformed in my last couple of fights, but like I know the level I'm at, and I know like I've tested myself against the best guys possible. You know, so yeah, I think this fight's obviously going to show my level, and I think the conversation around me will change again, like it does in this sport. Like you're only as good as your last one. So yeah, I mean, after this, I'll probably only be amateur for a couple more fights. But yeah, like I'm not looking past this. I just want to go and show my level on Saturday, and whatever comes after that comes after that. But I don't plan on staying amateur too much longer. But yeah, I'm also not going to rush into turning pro. So yeah, on Saturday, I'll show my level, and then I think the rest will do itself.
And I want to talk about the gym that you train at with GB Top Team because I feel like you're surrounded by. I feel like half the Cage Warriors roster is part of your gym. It feels like you've got so many high level guys in your gym. You've got UFC fighters in your gym. You've got so many other high level guys in other promotions. And so when you're training, you're surrounding yourself with guys like that, and you're seeing the success they're having at pros. They give you that itch to really want to, push yourself and turn pro eventually.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's where I get all my confidence from is the guys I'm training with. I got the best coaches in the world. I got the best training partners in the world. Um, so it's like every single day, the work you're getting is it's yeah, it's just world class. So yeah, I'm just very thankful for the environment I have, and yeah, it makes the whole process so much easier when you're in such a good team and everyone's pushing hard. You know. So yeah, like you said, it's actually half the Cage Warriors roster, UFC, and all the other major promotions. You know, our mat is stacked. Even on a quiet day, we've got more guys than a lot of other gyms. So yeah, yeah, just very thankful for my team, and I can't wait to put on a performance that's representative of the level we're at.
And one thing is, I remember when we first spoke back at Unity over a year and a half ago now, and the one thing that really stood out to me when I first met you was your mentality. Obviously, you lost it. You lost that fight against Ellis Pilkington, but you never really let it get to you. You never once, it never really done much. You see some people lose and they act like it's the end of the world, whereas you were like, it happens. It's part of the sport. We go again. But I want to ask about, obviously your last two fights haven't gone your way. Was there any sort of point where you were thinking like? Was there any dip in your mindset, or like maybe after the last one, obviously having maybe lost two in a row, were you thinking, was there any sort of dip in mindset, or was it just I just really need to like knuckle down and get a better and improve and really put on the show on my next one?
I mean, the downside to losing is it like delays stuff. So obviously, if you win a fight, you go a step forward. You lose, you go a step backwards. But other than that, like I don't really let it get to me. Do you know what I mean? Like I walk into these fights like against high level guys, knowing the risk I'm taking, and yeah, it just is what it is. Like at amateur, I wanted to take the riskiest fights possible. So then when I go pro, I have that experience. I've made all my silly mistakes now. So like I've learned so much. Yeah, everyone says it, but you learn so much more from your losses than your wins. So yeah, without it, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't be evolving how I am. So yeah, just is what it is. There's no point crying about it, making excuses. Like it's just what can you do? You know what I mean? Just take the lessons, move forward, improve. So yeah, like it's mad because I lost my last two, but it doesn't really feel like it. I'm sure when I win on Saturday and I get that feeling, I'm like, oh, this is what it's like being in the win column again. But yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. I still enjoy my life. I still love training. Still love fighting. This is what I still want to do in my life. And a loss here and there isn't going to change that. Do you know what I mean? I'm in it for the long run, and yeah, I mean it. So it's going to make no difference to me.
And what have been some of the biggest things that you've been really working on in that time off? Is it any particular facets of your game, or is it more like the weight management? Because I know you said you've had struggles with weight cuts in the past. What have been some of the biggest things you've worked on?
Yeah, I mean, definitely worked on my submission game a lot. Got a lot more submissions in my arsenal. Um, and just in general, my all round game. You know, like just leveled up so much. Like because I've been able to try new stuff. There's a lot more stuff that I do a lot better because I've been trying it out, you know, testing stuff, using new techniques that I'm shown by my coaches. Um, so yeah, I'd say that, and like my weight's real nice. Having that time off, you let your body really reset because after a cut, your weight normally balloons because you go from like low calories to eating what you want. But because I've had such a long period of time and it wasn't just jumping from one camp to the next, yeah, just walking around lighter. So the camp, I've eaten the best I've eaten in camp. Like my weight's perfect. So yeah, everything's just going great. You know, like the first time I fought Julian, it was my first time making bantamweight, so it was rough. Like I didn't really know what I was doing, but now this is like my third fight with my nutritionist Aritz. It's gonna be my fifth time making bantamweight. Um, and two of those times I made a championship weight. So yeah, um, it's yeah, it's good. You know, like my whole game and all the different facets has improved. And yeah, I believe that's what I'm going to show on the night.
You become a mainstay in Cage Warriors Academy. I'm sure when Cage Warriors Academy fans go on through Instagram and see the Dacre Bradley fights happening, they get excited because they know the level you're at. And so, what is your message to the fans and your comeback fight for the promotion?
Enjoy the show because I'm going to do something spectacular to this guy. Yeah, get your ticket, show up, and enjoy.
And can we get an official prediction? I know you don't usually want for predictions, but can we get a prediction?
Knockout or choke out in round one or two. He's tough, so might go a little bit, but he's getting stopped.
Quality, mate. Well, I want to thank you for your time. Just before I let you go, any chance you want to shout out any social sponsors, anything like that? Now's your time, mate.
Yeah, if you want to see my sponsors, go on my Instagram. I've got all of my kit for the fight. got quite a few, so I don't want to list them and forget. But yeah, my Instagram is Dacre_Bradley. Yeah, that's the thing I'm mostly active on, so follow me on there. And yeah, tune in next weekend.
August 16th, Cage Warriors Academy, Dacre is back. Get your tickets. Watch on live. It's on a live stream, pay-per-view. Watch the fight. He's gonna put on a show, I guarantee you. Dacre, thank you for your time, mate. It's been great.
Thanks, Rob.